Welcome to Harold Knows Nothing, where real life meets a live mic. Hosted by Harold Shipley, Newark born, tri-state raised, shaped by lived experience you won't find in a textbook. From street pharmacy to chef and CEO, from the streets to self-reflection, he speaks on relationships, culture, belief, music, world events, and everyday chaos in between. No script, no pretending, just real talk, a little wisdom, and a few laughs you didn't see coming. Let's get into it.
Welcome to the Harold Knows
Nothing.
Nothing podcast. I'm your host, Harold, that apparently knows nothing, and Scott Black Rambo in the building, my gracious host, co-host here with me. All right. How you guys
Right.
doing and how you guys doing in the building out there? Huh?
Man, I'm digging it, loving it. Shoot, I'm
On
alive.
time
I'm
again. On
on
time again.
time. On time, baby.
A little bit late, but we were actually way on time. But what we were doing was just making sure that we had the right connects right now. If you notice, we're very clear and everything else is because we're going directly by the orders of Black Regina Black. What is her freaking code name? Does she
Uh,
Black Regina?
Black Latina Regina.
There it is. Black. I want disrespect. Latina Regina. Uh, Gave us some insight and we both applied it and kicking ass as we're speaking about it right now. So shout out to Black Latina Regina for that's also our co-host Regina. We know who the hell you are. That's about it.
Oh, don't forget our shout out,
Shout out to who does the shout out go to, Scott?
Shannon 55.
Shannon 55 at Shannon 55. See, you almost got it. Gotta have the at.
At Shannon 55, baby boy.
Yes. Now, what do we need to do here? Let me move this out the way, make a little bit of noise. Um, what you about to do? About to light that candle.
Oh, John, we got the fly stuff in the house.
That's right. Also brought to you by Salty Sandy Candles. Great sponsor. Order your candle if you want the link. In the bio. You dig. Of course, we got our sponsors right out there. That's the Mob Sauce. You get it hot and mild, so you can get it very hot or very mild, ladies. Okay, so that's it.
Must be the sauce.
Must be
Must be the
this.
sauce.
So outside of that, what's going on, Scott? What's going on with you today, man? Got me a
Oh
little new
shit.
setup that's really good where I can actually see you and stay forward in the vision of the camera. So
Just
just got
just
a
staying
little.
well, just staying, for being focused on the podcast and whatnot, making some, make sure I'm nice, presentable, make sure our our setup is straight. Thanks to, like I said, Black Latina Regina, and also your advice. We're cooking with Crisco, baby.
Right. Also, another shout out to Movie Magic, Sandra. Sandra, Movie Magic, for definitely making sure that my side on when doing the doing the what's the name of the cord?
The Ethernet.
Ethernet cord and making sure that's all straight and everything. So like as you can see, we're way more professional than when we first started. That's crazy. So, but it's dope. It's dope. We came a long way. Speaking of coming a long way, this edit needs to step it up. I looked through the last pod from yesterday. I'm still going to send out clips from that, but or however, what I'm not getting is my cut that I need, the cut that we need here for people to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Help us grow. Help us, what I mean, spread the message, the good word of the BS. Getting everything out there.
So save the
No,
shepherd, baby.
yeah, but like, share, and subscribe. Talk your shit. This is a platform for all of us. You know what I mean? And love to hear from you guys, but definitely please like, share, and subscribe. That's what we're asking. Say it, Scott. Like,
Like, share, and subscribe.
Thank you. All right. So back to our normal day. Hey, went and checked out a spot. We had our meeting, our weekly meeting that we definitely were behind on, to get the spot and putting out the good energy out there. Um, liking it. We're gonna get this spot. It's I feel it. It's a good feeling. And you know how I feel it? I don't feel it like, oh, I got the spot. I feel real nervous, which which means big events, things that I got to tackle's coming.
You
You
got
know
them
what I mean?
butterflies?
Yeah, yeah, I like it. I like it. So I know this is definitely the place. It's just a price point thing that we got to get at, and which is pretty good. And I brought this all up not to brag, because I'm not bragging. We ain't get shit yet, and definitely got a large climb. No, we got a large climb. Financially and everything. So I'm being real with the audience on that. I ain't giving you all my business or nothing, but it's tight. However, um, what I was practicing, and it's tight, does speak to this also. Um, what I was practicing, the advice I gave is the advice that I'm taking. Because here at Harold Knows, it's really about me taking my own advice and listening to other advice or sides of an issue from other people, so I can gain understanding, even if I don't agree. But I can gain understanding of where you're coming from, because that's important too.
Right.
And where you're coming from supports your life and where you're coming from or where you're going to. So everybody needs to take a chill when they don't agree with people and realize that where they're trying to get to or what they're doing, um, is another personal journey. So you might have good advice, but maybe not for that time, or maybe never. Who fucking knows, right? But that's what life's about. Taking your pride out the situation if you're really trying to help. Um, I say all this to say, because I was long winded. I say all this to say one thing. The motherfucker was late, did not call, did not follow up for another place that we were supposed to look directly across the street, may I add, from the other place. And and these are restaurants, by the way. And the other place, the other restaurant, they're trying to sell it. So they're already in a bad situation. And this is why I say with business, normally, because I like the spot or I like the price, or I can get to it, I'll do whatever to get into that. And then a year later, or what I mean, whatever, it's a bad situation because I'm moving out of duress. I'm not thinking about respect, because everything a person does in business is and personal tells you what they think about you and what they think about this situation. So, long story longer, fool did not call. 4:30 appointment. We're eating lunch at this time. You know what I mean? By 5 o'clock, it's time for us to leave. We're like, all right, we're gonna head back home. In traffic, mind you. Luckily, I had good company. You know what I mean? We had Christy G there because she's a realtor. So, checking out the spot for us. You know what I mean? Sandy was there, of course. Um, I was there. So we checked it out, knocked out the questions, set up things for the LOI, letter of intent, for those who don't know what that is. And, just getting the stuff together. So I had a little time to kill, so we got something to eat or whatever. And from there, I'm waiting for a call that I'm not getting, and I refuse to call them back, because you don't beg for problems. When someone doesn't hit you back, let them go. I don't care if it's personal or business. If they don't hit you back, let them go. If something threw them off, they'll call you back and let you know, whatever the case may be. But you do
Facts.
not run after disappointment. You know what I mean? It's hard enough to do regular business in the world. Once you add in the nefarious aspect of something, then it becomes no. And the first clue was no respect for your time or what you're doing.
Preach, brother.
You know what I mean? Having respect for your time and what you're doing. And once I seen that, it was a second building to look at, but it's like, nope, don't want nothing to do with it. I don't want anything to do with a person that doesn't respect my time. wholeheartedly.
Yeah, because they're gonna expect you to respect theirs.
Exactly, and everything counts. You know what I mean? A little. If I gave you ample warning, if you know what it is, if we have a schedule, whatever it is, if you're not making it, it speaks more to me than whatever the fucking thing is. I don't care about your mental state, your problems, or nothing. Time and being somewhere, and being accountable so that more people make buy into your situation is tantamount. And who you keep around you is a reflection of what you tolerate. So even if the person, the people around you are cool with it, they're not really cool with it. What they're doing is they're building up how they're going to carry you also.
Mm.
So make sure the people around you respect your fucking time. You know what I mean? It's not finite. It's for a length of time, no matter what people speculate. You know what I mean? Relevancy or this, that, the third. It is what it is. So it's not finite. It's something that's limited. So it needs to be respected. You know what I mean? You got a limited amount of gold. So if somebody took some of your gold, even a ring, you would be mad, you would be pissed, you would be distraught. Your time is worth more than fucking gold.
Yep. The one thing that once it's spent, you can't get it back.
So once somebody is fouled with that, they're being fouled with something that's more precious than gold, your time. And that's why I stuck with that on that podcast, man. I was like, yo, I have to change that. And I always wanted what I wanted, so I'm willing to deal with things regardless. And now it's like, nah, my time is precious. If don't waste my time. Do not waste my fucking time. You know what I mean? If you feel you got more to play with, that's cool. Go spend your money elsewhere. But don't waste mine. And showing up is not enough. Doing a task is more than enough. But showing up is not the reward. So I don't care if you showed up, but if you're not of use, what the fuck you showing up for?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? What are we standing here for? So that's another thing. Well, I just wanted to get that off my chest. You know what I mean? That was really crazy. I wish Christy had time. She was running late. She said that she had some things to do, so she didn't know if she was gonna make it in time. But there was a question she asked yesterday on the pod, and we had to cut it short because we was at 2 hours by that time. So it was like, all right, I gotta cut it short. Normally I like to keep it between an hour, hour and a half. The 2 hour mark was like, all right, I gotta cut it down. Plus, I want stuff to talk about the next day, right? Like, good segue. Jay-Z at the Roots concert. I know you probably seen some clips of it, Scott, on social media. Jay-Z, he had a big fro. And I didn't understand it. I know I talked about it yesterday, but this is so much to go over when it comes to Jay-Z, the performance, who he brought out, you know what I mean, what he talked about during the freestyle, which is free of style. Freestyle doesn't mean off the dome. Even though he's, acclaimed for being able to do all the stuff that he's done off the dome like Biggie. So I'm gonna roll with it because I've never seen anything different, or you know what I mean. I can't counter it because I don't know. So I'm gonna go by the best version of the man. So yeah, it was off the dome, but freestyle generally means that it's free of style. You know what I mean? So that's what freestyle off the dome is what when we said off the dome. Off top. Pause, I guess. In this era, but that's what that meant. So freestyle was actually free of style, and off the dome or off top was what y'all call freestyle now, or it's supposed to be. But usually freestyle is like you're putting together a bunch of bits and pieces of things you have in your head. You know what I mean? This, that, the third. So what Jay-Z was saying and what he was doing was supposed to be off the dome because he doesn't write. So this is what he, was doing. And he was shooting at everybody, bro. He shot at Kanye West, of course. He shot at Dame Dash because his teeth done fell out and everything. Like he went from a multi-millionaire to what he's going through. Um,
Mm.
Shout out to everybody. I don't know them dudes. No one's done bad business or good business with me, so I don't know. I've heard about business dealings with both, and something to be said about anybody, I guess. So, but shout out to both of those gentlemen, Jay Z, incredible artist, Dame Dash, um, helped build Rockefeller, so that's a major accomplishment, a major thing in the history of hip hop. But Jay had no fucks given. People been talking about Jay Z sour for a long time, and he is tired. Just to let y'all know, he is on some shit. He was talking. He was referring to Nicki Minaj, being a cokehead pretty much, and stuttering. And he was, Kanye and the kid thing, and it with Drake. He's like, dude, you looked up to me. I never looked up to you. King shit. That was part of one of his bars.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And you think about that. He's like, in what world? Whether you doing better than me, which he's not, by the way. But even if he was, in what universe would my elder statesman ass look up to you? You feel me?
Hmm.
When they get the bag, I created a situation where you can get the bag. That's what Jay-Z is saying. I created a situation where you can get a bag this big for that belief. How dare you disrespect me? And that's what he's saying. When like to Drake, Drake, listen. Sell the catalog, make the money you can make. I heard the whole 400 million thing, whatever. It's still not a billion, and even if it was a billion, he got there first. He paved the way so you can get there. So you might want to shut the fuck up.
Well, some people think that they're bigger than what they actually are. I mean, that's nothing
Well,
new.
I'll be honest with you. Drake is big. It's not bigger than you actually are. He's really big. Still pay respect to who came before you. It's no different than
Hmm.
this issue with, and I don't know if you're familiar with this. There's an artist called Max B, right? This guy out of jail, several months ago, and they brought up Big Daddy Kane, and he was like, man, when he been outside, he was really disrespecting him. He was talking about the money. He's talking old school way Harlem shit, and I get it, but the disrespectful thing of the whole interview on Joe and Jada, by the way, another good podcast. Shout out to them. Um, with Jada kissing Fat Joe, this guy was running diarrhea at the mouth, and it's really telling of the people from a certain era. You know what I mean? Max, you had a nice run. You had the wave, and thank God people were, namely French Montana, was here for you to get out and still be relevant and put you in the mix. But don't act like you made something, even when you were out here before you got locked up, wilding out, that you were making music that was even comparable to Big Daddy Kane, who, by the way, another person that paved the way. You feel me?
Yep.
You want to know a little bit something funny about history? Let me give you some fun facts. Big Daddy Kane and Jay-Z are the same age.
Really?
Yes. The only reason you affiliate Jay-Z younger than Big Daddy Kane is because he got on later.
Hmm.
So he didn't get popping until later. Remember, Big Daddy Kane was already popping with Biz Markie, and ended up getting his own album. Jay-Z wasn't even on the radar then. He was doing rapping with Jaz-O, Hawaiian Sophie. You know what I mean? Big song in our era. And that's how he got on. And the originators rapping real fast, that was Jay-Z. Jay-Z used to be a speed rapper. You know what I mean? Which wasn't really big at that particular time. But him and Kane are the same age. So let's think about that right now. One person paved the way so the other one be able to make enough money to do whatever, God knows, with billions of dollars and millions of dollars. Where before you guys were getting ripped off and dying broke with no insurance, fucked up. Right back in the same project that you started with. So it's like you took a long tour for 5-6 years and then you fell off. You know what I mean? As long as the run of the song could do. You know what I mean? So don't give me that. Max, you're very fortunate that you have a good friend like French that's holding you down. But it's disgusting, even playing with Big Daddy Kane's name for all he put in to the culture. What say you, Scott? What you say about that?
You got to pay respect to the elders, man. You got to pay respect. You can't say that, oh, I did all this and I did all that. There had to be someone that came before you that paved the way. And like I said, the Big Daddy Kanes, the Bismarck Keys, the Slick Ricks, the Dana Danes, all of those people from our era paved the way for the Jay Z's, for the ones of modern, the Drakes and everybody else that's Drake's, J
Yeah,
Cole's,
but
the
what I'm saying is though, yeah, Jay was a late bloomer. He was still rapping. He was still moving around. He didn't have the extent of success that Big Daddy Kane had at that particular time. But
hmm
he was still out there. But we recognize people's runs, and we're calculating their age based on when we were introduced to them, not
hmm
what necessarily is what really is going down.
right.
You feel what I'm saying? So that's why I said when Max said that, it's like, yo, when you're saying that, you're saying like old school people and everything. Remember, Jay is one of those people, the same exact age of the man that you were disrespecting. So if he comes back and clowns on you and be like, "Oh, you jailbird, you just, you finally got out or whatever type shit," just really want to clown you. Like, I'm sitting on the billy, you count money. I don't have to count money out loud. Like Jay's at a point where he don't have to count money out loud, bro. You know what I mean? That's why a long time ago, outside of financials and everything else, I got rid of chains and all that shit, man. That's not rich. That's attention seeking. And attention seeking also gets a lot of people in trouble. You know what I mean? Unless you're seeking the right intention, right? Unless you're seeking the right attention. So, all the flashy shit I got away from because I'm trying to get to a real bag at this point. And
Indeed.
nothing up and all the other stuff shows me as a dummy in investing. It doesn't show me as a person to do business with. So if it allures you on the screen when you see big change, and I've had them all and all this stuff, it's cool. And I don't care if your diamonds are real or not real. Let's put that out there too. Um, at the end of the day, what is it really telling me? If you can't take that shit in and get something for real, like and you're in a situation, like what are you really telling me? You know what I mean? You're not getting, unless you're dealing with just gold and no diamond bullshit or whatever. You're not getting nothing but your weight. You know what I mean? It's like, what are you really doing here? When there's vast opportunities, you know what I mean, that you can get into with that bread. So, I just look at things a lot differently than I did before. You know what I
Well, you
mean?
matured. I mean, you
It took
you
me a
you
long time to
experienced
mature
life.
though. It took me a long time to mature, man. Far too long that it should have took me because I wasn't getting what I'm giving right now. Sound advice, man. You know what I mean? No get rich quick shit. None of the shit that they be posted on every other fucking page. Like, oh no, but take care of your life. Don't worry. All you have to do is this, that, the third. Sign up for my class or let's click on my shit so I can fake like I'm doing something. Like, nah, this ain't about that. This is real conscionable advice, unsolicited. I'm not selling a pamphlet. You know what I mean? Get away from bullshit.
Or as you always told me, stay out the way.
Yeah, but get out the way of bullshit, man. Get out the fucking way. Again, Max B, and I did enjoy your little wave too. You know what I mean? When you came and you was doing the whole Connecticut thing, I just got out and I seen you, and the next thing you know, your ass was in there for fucking damn near 16 or whatever the fuck it was, because you went in as soon as I got out and heard you for this a hot second. That's another reason why I don't respect shit. And apparently, you know, that's how it goes. But as long as you're successful, right? Because that's what it's about. It's not about your generations. It's about you being successful. You know what I mean? They show you that you're doing something supposed to be worthy, and you're pipe pipering your people down the pipeline for jail.
Which is a shame.
Yes. because that's. And I've been a part of it. Like I said, I was in the industry, so. But don't get me wrong, my artist never said no reckless shit. No crazy reckless shit. There was shit that was reckless, as we weren't thinking of the consequence. We was thinking of the prize on the end. Run our business right, say some hot ass shit, and get paid.
Well, you always knew how to keep your, keep your artists out the way anyway. As far as not doing, a whole bunch of the dumb shit.
Well, and to be honest, half the time I was more reckless than the artist because I came from a system where your word was everything. So how I'm going to carry it, all the slick shit I ain't going for. I'd rather get you before you get me. I was from that space.
Hmm.
Now a lot of people in the game wasn't, and the people that were, they start letting them in the game like me now. Where before they wouldn't let me a person like me in the game because I was really on that shit. But now they do it because they got your catalog. You go to jail or die. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah.
You
He
know what I
who
mean?
has the insurance policy wins.
Exactly. And the first thing, and they're gonna give it to you too, because the first thing you're gonna do if you're smart is insure that artist. You insure that artist, and you don't have to. He passed away. That catalog is still yours. You don't. You know what I mean? Most of their families don't know nothing. Half of them can't read a contract to save their life. You know what I mean? That's why they've been going to the reckless. It does things twofold. You get an artist out there like Max B. Go out there, believe what you're saying, do dumb shit, drive people around to do dumb shit, get caught out because he got caught out, go to jail for a very long time, then come back out, talking pretty much of the same. It sounds like he on fucking dope at this point, rapping,
Mm.
but whatever, if you want to call it rapping, it was a wave for a reason. It was a sound, it was a movement, it was pure, it was unadulterated, it was a lot of bullshit too, but it was fun. It was a man who made a movement, and I respect that. But I don't respect that you talking that kind of shit to Big Daddy Kane when you haven't made one song equal to Kane's. Not one song. You can't hold his jock strap, nigga.
Here I am, RAW,
A terrorist.
here to bring trouble to.
All MCs.
Yo, classic.
I came here to conquer. Like, I mean, he really, 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 really was crazy, for saying that. Well, I gave him enough shine as it is. Hopefully we get a click or two because we talked about it. But you're full of shit, Max B. Thanks for something to talk about. Um, can't wait to hear Joe Button talk about it. Back to the Roots picnic with Jay Z. All right. Roots picnic with Jay Z was off the chain. He brought out Young Guns. He brought out Beanie Siegel, PD Crack Dog, damn near the whole state property. He brought out. There's only a couple people from that situation that he rapping wise that he didn't bring out. You know what I mean? So, and I think it was Oshino he didn't bring out because it was Owen Sparks, right? So, but he brought out the Young Guns, and he brought out, like I said, oh yeah, Freeway. So they did all those classic when Rockefeller was really, doing their thing, and they were in Philly, so they had all that Philly energy, which is for people that don't know in hip hop, Philly boys can rap, them bulls can rap, yeah. So he Jay had a team, and they actually went against um Rough Riders, and Jada kissing them over the whole beef thing, this, that, the third. But and it got real, where people were going across state lines with hammers, and what I mean, still doing the show, just dumb shit we was on, younger. Um, what you guys call sliding, they would slide on people. Okay, not electric slide, but they slide on you. And Anywho, they brought out Jay brought a lot of people. He did it was the greatest hits type thing. The hairdo, I don't understand. I'm trying to make sense of it. I don't think that's his hair. And now he's so Hollywood that you can wear a mean fro that long. I don't know, but you can't sell me that's your hair, bro. I got to see somebody part it and braid it for me to even believe that shit, homie. And I know they can do extensions, so I got to see it from the beginning. Cause yo, Jay, you ain't selling me on that. You trying to take it back another 20 years by putting on a wig, man. Like you wildin'. Jay had on a whole wig, bro. That's a fact. That was not his hair, bro. He is Mike Jack right at this point, man. He had on a whole wig, a whole Joan. You know what I mean? Fraggle Rock, the whole thing. And I remember him having a Caesar. I'm not saying he was bald because that was just a cut. Like I keep a low Caesar and my hair can grow. But what I'm saying is if I had Bombaras dreads, if I had, the patties, those type of dreads, you can't just detangle and make it into that. Nigga wearing a wig, bro. Ain't nobody speaking on it because he worth $2 billion. But Jay wearing a wig, man. And that's a fact. Ain't nobody on that stage want to tell him he looked crazy with that shit on either. Like he looked like a fake ass Bone Thug in Harmony. Shout out to Jay. The show was dope. But you looked at wild, bro. You ain't even prepared us that you were gonna look like this. You know what I mean? And I know that you stole those extensions out of Beyonce's closet, nigga.
Oh wow!
And you went on stage and did it in public. So we all know. And I fuck with Jay. I like Jay. You know what I mean? Jay-Z, like, he do the whole, like, he a good artist. He made some joints. You know what I mean? I fuck with him. That whole set they did at the Roots, I wish I was there. But I would have asked him, there was people there at the show asking, who is that? Who the fuck is that? They didn't even know it was Jay-Z. Remember, all the media stuff we get from Jay-Z, people are hurling out. Some of those things are, a year or two old, but not a year or two to have that much bush on your head, nigga. You know what I mean? Triple pause. Dude, you was wilding. Ain't nobody going, all the people that's cool with him, ain't nobody going to question that shit. I'm questioning it. You think that was real, Scott? Did you see Jay-Z?
I did not, but it doesn't. It
Pull
wouldn't
up on your phone
surprise
on
me.
Roots Pull it up right now on your phone on the Roots concert, man. We're going to get to the bottom of this shit. I ain't by myself. I wish I'd have showed you it.
Roots concert.
Jay-Z. Say Jay-Z Roots concert. You got to be specific with the phone. There's like 1,000 artists there. No, Jay-Z was headlining.
Roots concert. Jay-Z.
Don't play it out.
Yeah, I turned it down. Oh my God!
Now you believe that's his hair?
That motherfucker looked like the damn cowardly lion from the Wizard of Oz.
But you see this dude? Do you believe that's his hair? Now, put in your phone. Put in your phone, Jay-Z with dreads, and look at the picture. They're not that old.
Wow, shit. Jay-Z with dreads. Oh my God.
And he had the dreads like the dude that died, the artist. What's his name? They probably wanted to do a picture.
Oh shit! Oh you got me, but I'm like, when I put in
people who have wicks, they're called wicks. When people who have wicks, those type of dreads, you have to cut them off and start all over, fresh.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is, when did you do that? When you're in the public eye, you just did the New York interview where you had the bummer-ass dreads. He just did a New York Times or whatever interview, and he had the wicks. and now all of a sudden he got this big silky shit going on. If you ain't fucking lying to me, he wearing Beyonce's wig. Jay-Z is wearing Beyonce's wig, bro. He's gone. He's out of here. Appreciate the show. It was dope. Love to
Oh,
reminisce. I'm not wearing my girl's wig. You know what I mean? But everybody's doing it now. What's next? Brazilian butt jobs for dudes? Like, what's going on? Where do we stop? You know what I mean? If y'all think Jay-Z was wearing a wig, I need y'all to tap in and tell me like how he got that done. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not trying to do it or nothing. I'm just saying like I just want to know. But that's enough on that, man. Jay-Z, the show was dope though. The Roots picnic got really big. I think it's up to like almost 70 no, like 30,000 people, 40,000 people, whatever, where they had to hold it at. So it's definitely it grown. It has grown. Sorry. So
it was
definitely
another.
Roots picnic is good.
It was another concert that was up at Foxwoods, from what I understand. It was a throwback. Had your Slick Rick, Dana Dane, um, Dougie Fresh, MC Light. All the hip hop classics. And that was supposed to be a really dope ass show.
I believe Allison was there. She has clips up on Facebook.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to shoot. I hope it wasn't just a regional thing. I hope it's something that travels around because I definitely like to see that.
We it's not hard to get those going on. You know what I mean? Especially with Rob Bass, getting up out of here again. You know what I mean? Shout out to Rob Bass.
Yeah,
Um, definitely. Even that one hit he had, the biggest hit. You know what I mean? He had the other one, but
Joy and
surprising.
Pain, and then
Yeah. Oh, we got Black Regina. Let me see if I can get her on the screen. Do y'all see? You see her on the screen?
I do not.
See, I'm telling you, something is different about that. It used to be where we can see him on this. I can see him, but it's not. You know what I mean? Let me read off what she says. Move in silence. It's one of my favorite credos. So that was Black Regina, man. Shout out to Black Regina. Let me clap it up for her, man. You think we should clap it up for her? Yeah, clap it up.
Yeah, sure.
Let's clap it up. You know what I mean? Regina Latina Regina. What's the name of it?
Black Latina Regina.
Hey, Black Regina. You know what? Shout out to Regina, nigga. You know what I mean? Black Latina Regina, nigga. Like, what the fuck is this? So, but no, definitely. Shout out to sis. Great intro, by the way. I still got to pull it in, but great intro. How's she doing? Um, where were we at? Yeah, the hip hop show. Allison definitely was out that way for it. I believe it was a concert. She was posting. I think that was part of the concert. Especially because I was wondering, like, I was trying to line it up, like, what is it? And then when you just said that, just pulled it all together. 6 degrees of separation.
Definitely.
That's a fact. Something else came here on the phone. What is this notification?
I'm still trying to remember the topic from yesterday from Christy.
All right, listen, we got something from Regina right here. Regina says Jay-Z's locks reportedly took 4 days to see a Creed bottles to comb out. Let me see this right here. I don't. Ho's hair transform, which he debuted Roots Picnic. Instead of his usual wigs, dreadlocks, he wore his hair in an afro. Now the details of the transmissions coming to light. How long did it take? According to Houston Locks, combing out Hove's wig locks was no small task, and in a since deleted thread post, Houston Locke said it took 4 days. They deleted the which call post. They did not do this. I want to see him in the chair on his locks, so I can assure you he doesn't have a wig. All that hair is 1% his own hair, but he does use concrete. I combed his locks out recently, so he has a new hairstyle. Now watch the Roots picnic in Philadelphia next Saturday. Oh, so this is the person from Houston Locks that put it down that said that. But she took down the
What, the post?
yes. I don't believe it. I'm sorry. I don't believe it. It is what it is though. She's claiming that that was the that's what she did, and it is what it is. What do you think, Scott? You believe him?
Uh, I can't. Why not? I don't think he would be out there with a wig on. I certainly hope not.
That nigga got a wig on, bro.
I give motherfuckers the benefit of the doubt.
All right, she said. I'm gonna. I really want to. I'm gonna start googling it and checking it out. Regina says thank you for her soul clap. Can I get a soul clap? Remember that? That was which called AZ, right? That was Oh my God, what was it? Showbiz and AG. Soul clap.
Oh man.
Well, yes, you definitely get a show clap, Regina. Since we can't see your message on here, it's supposed to be public too, so that's why I was like, I don't know why you can't see it. Because you used to could see it, right? When I brought it up.
If you brought whatever you brought up on your screen
Yeah.
and you shared it, yeah, I could always see that. Um,
No,
if
I'm saying the text.
if
When
you could,
people were saying the text, and I would read, you could see the text, right? When I would.
yeah, if it came in on the chat, yeah,
Yeah.
I could click on the chat and read it. But nah, nothing's coming through
Yeah. I just don't know why.
unless you being the host that everything comes to you in it before.
I'm gonna check out the feed afterwards. Skim through the some of the pods so I know like what happened and stuff like that. Also in the news today, let me get off of that. Um, the Don was in
Uh
yeah, what no no one tried to kill him today. Um,
oh.
he says that we won the war even though the the Iranians are charging a toll for boats to be able to get through. He says, I've destroyed their whole army. Then what are they blackmailing them with? Fucking crossbows? You didn't decimate nothing, bro, if they're still holding hostage or ransom the Straits of Hormuz. Like you can't say that you're in a difficult situation. You can't say you lost. But now you're just being delusional. Because in the same breath, the report is saying that they're charging, and you're agreeing, yeah, they're charging, but he said they're not charging nearly as much as they would have charged if I wasn't the president. What the fuck is this guy on? What you on, fool? What you on? You know what I mean? I'm sipping Bordeaux, got a little regular bud. You know what I mean? What the fuck you on? For you to say that somebody strong arming us and charging us, you know what I mean, and charging other people, whatever, dealing with the oil thing, and they're paying it. What are we doing here? You didn't destroy shit. You didn't cripple nothing. You didn't win, bro. You lost, Rock. You lost. You know what I mean? Great White Hopeless. Like you lost, Rock. Like, come the fuck on, bro. I know you're the Don. You don't escape. You're one of the goats as far as a president. So you know what I mean. And I don't. I'm not saying this in a good way neither. Um, I'm just saying you're a goat of getting away with stuff, beating charges, getting back in there, and pulling off the heist of the year with government money. You're the goat. No one's done it better than you, bro. There's been people in history that people don't remember, but I could talk about, being a historian or Orientalist, someone who's really curious and wants to know about history. There's people in history that, came close as far as in America. They done a lot of shit, but mm, this guy know what
Yeah,
the fuck he doing. He know how to rob, steal, and kill. Okay, that's a fact.
and don't care if you see it, and don't care if you caught him doing it.
No, because he let me tell you something. Don remind me of a smart ass little kid, right? When he asks you like, Urkel, did I do that? Did I do something wrong? You know what I mean? And it's a part.
Me?
Yes, I'm appalled. You know what I mean? Like, fuck out of here, bro. But yes, he announced that he has won. That the war and with them is over. In other words, he's just pulling up stakes. Caused destabilization in that region. With the help of Israel, of course. And put us on the wrong side of history, man. On a couple of things. Um, One more thing. The Don with the reflection pool, that was crazy. I have to speak on it one more time because you don't send a regular person to do that type of job, like a regular pool person. He literally got that shit like a pool at the Radisson. Like they don't.
Called one of his own personal contractors.
Yeah. And then said he didn't do it, but then there's this so much footage of him saying this is what he would do. He knows the people, take care of it. She decided to do it, best deal, yada yada yada. So he gave some cutthroat people some cutthroat money. They came in there and put a filter on it with some chlorine, bro. They, they did what they wanted to do. They said the check's going clear, check's going clear. You know what I'm
Did he
saying?
clear? Yeah, cleared. You
Yeah,
got the money? Yeah, yeah. Okay.
the check's going clear, check's going clear. So I mean, that's the reports on old Donald the Don. You know what I mean?
Done.
Doing his things. So these Creek witch car bottles are supposed to be able to take out your wicks. And like I'm trying to get to this other there it goes, the group chat right there. Oh yeah, one more Don thing. I knew I had one more. So right here with the Don, a federal judge ordered the Kennedy Center to remove President Trump's name, ruling that it had been added unlawfully. So he tried to put his name on. I'm telling you, bro. This guy has no cut cards with it. You hear me?
I will go down in history.
Yeah, if I write it myself.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's just crazy. It's the thing that I just seen. You know what I mean? On the There's so much weird shit on the line, bro. I just tell you. I know this ain't right. Oh shit! All right, this was the eyebrow thing that which call was trying to do or whatever. But anyway, the Don apparently tried to put his name on the Kennedy Center. They had to take it down. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So
So what was it? The Donald J. Trump Kennedy Center, or what the fuck?
I don't know because I never pay attention like that. It just came across my feed, so I'm like, I gotta report it. You know, did I really want to? Not really.
Yeah,
Not really. Didn't really care to. Can't really wait until the third until this game finally starts.
I know,
You know what I mean? Like
man. I know. Go Knicks! Shout out to the Knicks.
exactly. Let me see. Let's go next. Okay. I can see online now. This is dope. So, did you hear about Ray J losing that fight and getting the speed knot on him? Did I cover that when it happened?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. That was like a not the last podcast. I think the podcast before last. I
Okay.
think the one on.
Well, apparently, um, they're looking at mental issues with him and more shit. I think he's spinning out of control. Hey, got the hearts from the red and blue pill from at Black Latina Regina. If I say that one more time, this is a fucking tongue twister. Uh, but thanks for the hearts in there. No, it's just it's crazy that he's spiraling out of control like that.
Well, what's even what's sad is that he's got family that that you would think would be trying to wrangle him in, trying to be by his side and try to keep him from crashing out. You know,
He's
I
he's
mean,
he's too wild, bro. Like you can have family. This is why I understand. I got kids. I don't talk to most of them. To be quite honest, no, I really don't. They don't talk to me. I don't talk to them. A job has been done, whether they agree or disagree, how much or not how much, whatever the case is. But the bottom line is, I
yeah,
don't talk to them. But so no one can always keep blaming family. Like some of the people are just sour, or they just
yeah,
constantly do the same shit, and they're never going to change. You know what I mean? So it can't be,
yeah,
oh, the family should have stepped up. No, maybe he should step up. You know what I mean? I've never seen him apologetic and trying to get in a good space. I've seen him as an attention whore. You know what I mean? So you can't like be like, oh, Brandy, you got a billion. Make sure Ray J's okay. Sometimes you gotta let motherfuckers ride, bro.
yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
you gotta let certain people ride, man. He one of the people you gotta let ride. You know, he can make one wish. You know, if I had one wish, that's
Hmm.
that's it. You know that's it. And even when they did the verses, the one song that he has, he couldn't even do that. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm saying. It's embarrassing. But you know, we watch NASCAR for the crash out, so
Yeah,
that's why we
yeah.
watch Ray J.
Yeah.
Anything
Ah.
interesting that you came across?
Uh, Not too particularly. I think today's was a slow day in the news.
Uh, Answer me this, because again, there's no women, all this other stuff on it, so we can get it. Do you think Jay Z, after doing that concert, is going to come out with another album?
I think it's possible.
You know what I mean? Like,
Why not?
still,
I mean, I I don't see why not.
would you be checking for it? I mean, we don't buy albums, but would you be
Mm,
checking? Would you be like, damn, is it coming out? Would you be curious? Would you care?
yeah, I'd be curious. I would be curious,
Right.
definitely.
And mind you, our age don't download that much. So this is where our older established artists would suffer, would suffer because you have to galvanize your base and bring in some more just to tally up on downloads. Because like I said, it's actually would you download? So you gotta figure there's a whole multi-million of us at our age that appreciated his music that may not download his shit.
Mm-mm.
You understand what I'm saying?
No, I
It's
understand.
not
I'm not downloading shit. I mean, it's like, eh,
it's not that you don't
I
like him. It's just that you're not in that
yeah,
space.
yeah. If it's not coming across terrestrial or satellite radio, I mean, it's
So again,
yeah.
music predominantly is free now. That's what people the value of having something that you can hold that was true value. I think this digital is taking away way too much value of an artist. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so because I mean, I still remember the days when we go to Rob's record shop when you went to a record shop
Yes.
and you went through the stacks and uh, they would have one open album and whatnot, and you could put it on the record player there and see, okay, check this out, okay, yeah, okay, I want to buy that. If they had more than XYZ uh, cuts on it, I mean, if you had maybe out of 12 to 12 to 18 cuts on an album, if you had like maybe two or three skips, it was worth buying, to me.
Yeah, I mean, I bought albums where, to be quite honest, it was duds. Like I remember buying, and shout out to these people. You know what I mean? Channel Live, and they had one good song. All they do was smoke Madism. That was that song. I
Oh
bought the
man, it's
album.
oh god, yeah,
I bought the album though, and it was trash. The other
shit,
songs, nothing. So a
yeah,
true one hit wonder.
yeah. That was one that would have been a 12 inch. I would have bought the 12 inch on that one.
No, but what I'm saying is, when I bought it, I'm buying a tape or whatever the case
Yeah.
may be. The bottom line is, it's not like, again, you're talking 12 inch and it's not the third. The real movement of units wasn't records. The real movement of units was when it was tapes and CDs.
Mhm.
That's when shit started really moving.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Lighter, smaller. You didn't have to go in the house, pop it in your car. They had the Walkman or whatever. That's when shit was really moving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To be quite honest. So when I say the value going down, because you used to have to go in, get that CD, you're reading the insert card, the artwork
Mhm.
is important, all this other stuff. Now it's AI generated. Yeah, so there's the soul of music has left us.
Wow, that's poignant.
The soul of music has left us. The story behind it, everything. It has left us. You know what I mean? Like what went into it, the production value, the value of the artist is gone. Remember, there wasn't a lot of auto tune. There was some, and there's a lot of stuff you can make it work with certain artists or whatever. But what's going on now, I can say my voice, say, give me a song. AI will make the song in my voice, and it's out. So the value of true artists and art is gone. It is all what they're putting in front of you. So they're gonna put it in front of you. There's no manufacturing your popularity by yourself. It's a
I
it's
think
it's
more.
a $1 billion industry.
Yeah, I think these days. I think more of the importance goes into the video. You know, the visual versus what they're actually putting out. Whether
Scott,
because
there's
because
not a lot of there's not a lot of videos. Tell me the videos. You're talking about when they had videos. A lot of it's reality TV type based movement. I'm
mm,
gonna hang a microphone in the middle of the street, or make it appear that way, and do my rap, put it out, and copy and paste. And a lot of people have done it. You know what I mean? And some
mm,
have found success, or whatever the case may be. But the bottom line is, a lot of it is falsely generated narratives of being whatever type of artist, because it's money put behind you. To break an average artist to get enough radio play regionally to do something, you're talking 100K. I've been there. I know.
mm.
You know what I mean? And even when they get there, for them to stay, you have to have an artist that wants it just as bad as the investment. You're not gonna find it. You
So it's
yeah,
more. So in your opinion, it's more microwave. You
it's
know.
all microwave. The last bus ride on real organic, good things, as far as with an artist, is gone. The most of the music, it it lacks inspiration. Most of the singing and the crooning is directly to fucking. The detachment from
Mm,
humanity and music is real. Let me say it again. The detachment of humanity and music is motherfucking real.
Book of Harold.
Look at Harold. It's facts though, because we had a balance before. So you had some love, you had some raunchy, you had some knowledge, you had a nice mix. It is saturated in the bullshit. It is
Yeah.
saturated. I couldn't imagine, waking up every day for somebody who wanted to work. It's like, yo, come the fuck on, bro. You know what I mean? I gotta do a skit like that. Like, no matter what I do, she just want to twerk. It's like, yo, what? Come the fuck on, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
In the bathroom, she wanted to twerk. The kitchen, she wanted
yes,
to twerk.
no matter, and that's how it is. If you go online, that's what it is. Is everything is a twerk, and that's how I'm gonna get my views up. So I'm just saying, I couldn't imagine having that type of relationship where, again, there's no building, there's no real goals except for carnal pleasure, and that's it. There's nothing outside of that.
Yep.
You
Living
know
in
what I
the
mean?
moment. That's it.
Yeah, and living in a very short moment, depending on your game. You know what I mean? In a very short moment, because even if you can go, it don't matter. As soon as she start talking, you're gonna be like, I wish this bitch shut up. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying?
mm,
Because you
mm.
have nothing in common. You have
Shoot.
nothing. You're not going to what she's talking about. Don't even register to you.
No substance.
Yeah. Well, that goes for both people, because if you're fucking with somebody with no substance, that means you have no substance. When I was fucking no substance bitches, I had no substance. I was doing me and moving along. No substance to it. So it's just one of those things where, I don't know, man. Eventually, you gotta go have fun. I still want to go out. I still want to do certain things. I'm not going to stop doing those things. I don't do them right now. I have a goal in mind, and I know 6 months of sacrifice to a year will have me years in comfort. So
Mm.
this is my, 6 months to a year of sacrifice. You know what I mean? And if it's not me and baby girl going on something, going to do something, I'm not really beat. You know what I mean? Now, get up in the ranks and do shit. Go explore some more, do some more stuff. But it's a time in life where you got to put your nose to the ground and get to it. But back to this music, a lot of it is soulless right now. There's nothing for me as a musician, as a person in dealing in music, that says I want to hear any. Drake got 3 fucking albums out. I don't know one goddamn song, Scott.
Me neither.
Not one. I can tell you when he came out, you know what I mean, 2009 or whatever. I could tell you that music. I could tell you a couple of things in between that. Maybe a song called Scorpion. That's one of the records. You know, that he had out before. But these three right now, no impact. None. This is how saturated the music is. If it was Mike Jack and he had put out something right now, you would have already heard, knew about it, and be itching to go get the rest of that product.
Yep.
That's
It
a
would have
fact.
already it would have already hit gold or platinum already.
Exactly. And for that alone, I'm saying straight up, you can buy the glove, Drake, because you bought the glove. You can buy the Great One's glove. You can buy Mike Jack's glove. But you can't buy his talent. You can't buy his influence. You can't buy his
Mm.
impact. You can't buy his impact, bro. You know what I mean? And you're a talented dude that, working collaborative. And Mike worked in collaborative too. So we're not going to take nothing away from him because you're an artist. So you're an artist in a way that you work with other artists together to build something. Mike did that too. So I'm not on you for that or anything like that. I'm just saying at the end of the day, you can't hold a candle to him because you had to drop 3 albums. They're not even real albums to me. It's digital. Until somebody has to go out and pick up something, you ain't sell shit.
Mm.
That's a fact. So you consider digital copies a real album to you, Scott? Real talk. You ain't know what the fuck that is, bro.
Mm.
Just
I
listen a
want to know.
second.
I mean, I want to know how they track it because
They track it with the Easter Bunny and Casper the Friendly Ghost and Santa
you
Claus.
know, yeah,
They make it up.
because when you actually had to go out and buy the album, buy the tape, buy the CD, it was like they actually tracked those units, you know. So I'm like, how are they tracking the quote unquote downloads
It's
and
no,
all this
it's
other
no,
crap?
it's not. It's just a pulse. So no matter what, it's in computering tracking that. That's not the problem. The problem is that you can imitate it. You know what I mean. You can have 5 people with
Mm,
phones, you know, hopping down albums. You can, there's a lot of stuff that goes with it. I'm saying a tangible playing item and tangible. Yes, it saves space. Yes, it does all these things. I'm with you guys. I get it. But unless they're gonna give me album money for that album, I don't really feel like that. It takes the love out of it. You know what I mean? It does. Do something interesting. Sell us the download and make sure that we have an insert card that's playing and rolling and giving us some history while the song is going. Or so give us
mm.
something. Give us
Yeah, because you
something.
don't. Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, there is nothing. There's nothing tangible anymore.
Exactly. There's nothing tangible to that project, to the album. It's in outer space. It's not there. You feel me? If everything when everything shut down, what's the first thing we did? Everybody was looking for what, Scott?
Shit, what toilet paper?
No, because look at the subject that we're on. What we
I know, I know, I know,
wait.
I know. I
First
jest.
first thing that we
The
went to was the
entertainment,
CDs
CDs, and
and and and,
are
and
are are,
DVDs.
are
DVDs.
even back to VHS. You know?
I'm not going that far. I'm just being honest. When we had the hurricanes, the
Yeah,
first thing everybody was doing was going to Redbox or anything they could find that was still doing it.
yeah,
You feel me? And looking through their drawers and pulling out old DVDs. That's
yeah,
real shit.
yeah.
That's a fact.
Absolutely,
You know what I mean?
because we
But
did it. We were
value,
pulling out the whole. Yeah.
value. The internet down, movies still play. I mean, Step Brothers. I got movies that you can watch a million times. You ain't gonna get tired of some of these movies. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So spaghetti westerns. I got all kinds of stuff in there. But what I'm saying is,
Kung Fu
yeah,
clips.
yeah, yeah. I have a box set of one of them with Five Deadly Venoms in it. Great movie. So,
Classic.
like I said, you still revolt back to that which is tangible. I'm not saying keep suitcases of CDs and this, that, the third, but I'm saying I seen the value of just a little bit. I'm cleaning the house and I'm still not gonna throw away like the DVD player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In case you ever need it or whatever. And Black Latina Regina, haha. How about that? Still have it. She still has a VHS. That's what she said. She said she still has a VHS. I put it up there. Maybe it'll come up on the screen. Who knows? But at Black Latina Regina, she still has a VCR, VHS. But that's some Hakeem stuff. When you have all that, because Hakeem still does have a VHS and all that shit and tapes. You know what I mean? I'm not going. I'm not going that hard, people. I'm just saying, like a CD. You know what I mean?
CD, DVD, Blu-ray. Yeah.
Even remember Shy went to the hospital. Even when we left, remember what did they put his X-rays on?
On a DVD.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. So, but again, that's tangible. Yes, they don't put them in cars right now. They just put in a USB and that's it. They doing all this shit. But I am telling you, the soullessness out of the music is just ridiculous. It's missing that heartbeat. It's missing that heartbeat. You know what I mean? It's hollow. It just doesn't have it. You know what I mean? The artist London, I like his stuff, but and there's some artists out there like this stuff. I just musically, everybody needs to step up. You know what I mean? Everybody. I know you can only tell the love story so many ways on music, but you gotta figure it out, people, because you're getting boring. You're losing your luster. You know what I mean? You just
Yeah.
losing your luster. You think that the music is losing its luster, Scott?
Yeah. Yeah. I tell you, someone that keeps up with music pretty doggone good.
Yes.
She be on top of it. Because when we're riding in the truck, and someone come on the radio, she'd be sitting there singing with us. She'd be chair dancing and whatnot. Ma, what you know about that, Ma? She's like, shoot, I like that music. I was like, all right.
Yeah, but
And,
she's always been open minded. That's why I was so good musically with stuff. You know what I mean?
mhm.
Always open mind. Always exposed me to everything. Classic, rock, rap, everything in between. Always introducing me to stuff. You know what I mean? When it came to me, so she was not one of the people to be like, "Oh, this rap ain't going nowhere." She did not. She never said that. She never said that. But again, she was grown during that time, so she also has her experience with hip hop. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? And it's much different than ours. You know what I mean? Or even mine's, because mine was as a kid, and hers was as an adult.
Yeah.
You feel me? So a cool Herc party to her is something I heard of, or you know what I mean. I might have seen the tape, or you know what I mean, whatever.
Right.
But with her, she was there. You know what I mean? We was in the Bronx. We might have been sleeping. She was there. I don't know. You know what I mean? But when all that was happening, coming up, she was an adult there, just like Allison. You know what I mean? She was in Tony and the Dukes plus one. Shout out to Allison. You know what I mean?
Yo.
Cat. Shout out to Cat. My cousin. And so she was in, like, when you listen to the name Tony and the Dukes plus one. You know what I mean? And you had the Funky Five and all the people. So
Yep.
what I'm saying is, like, being older, because Cat's older than us. You know what I mean? By a few years, not many, but a few years. So they were running around when I was just learning how to run.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So when I got to Connecticut, I think Kat was already like 18 or close to it. You know what I mean? So she was
Mm-hmm.
like a good 4 or 5 years ahead of me. So she was off the porch for it. I went when I first went back to New York. I went with her, and she went to Daddy Chris's house, and I believe Co-op City, Co-op City in the Bronx. And and correct me if I'm wrong, Allison. If we snip this up, I'm gonna make sure I send it to you on Facebook. But first person I went back home with, very early, got lost, had to get up with a crew just to get back home. But yeah, you know, definitely the first person I went to New York with, back home with when I moved to Connecticut was Allison. You know what I mean? You can imagine. I must have been 11, 12. I'm on a bus doing whatever, doing my own thing, catch a train. You know what I mean? Catching the ferry.
Like I say, you've been off the porch for forever. You know, shoot. Like you said, you were walking yourself to school at 5 years old.
Yeah, maybe like six, maybe like six. Yeah, like 6, 7, like 6, 7, probably 7. Yeah, like 7. I would like to say 7 comfortably. You know what I mean? Comfortably. And I remember getting on the wrong bus when I was even younger than that. So you know what I mean? I got stories for days on that shit. So Scott, tell me one thing before I get up out of here. Um, Tell me one of the most interesting things when you were behind the wire scouting.
Most interesting things was when
No, just one thing, just something that happened that stood out.
uh,
How was your first time behind the wire? How did you feel your first time behind the wire?
oh, fucking scared. I remember when
Yeah, that's a real answer.
yo, no, because I remember like my first tour in Korea. I was a DMZ scout, and so um, I remember we were on a patrol, and we were. I know we were across. You know, we were where we weren't supposed to be. We were across the North
The line.
Korean border. Yeah, and we were out, and I remember we were on the side of this paddy dike, and we could hear there was a patrol out there, and we heard them like walking across the frozen rice paddies and whatnot, and literally, I'm there with I'm a private at this time. I'm a PFC, and I remember my platoon sergeant. Uh, Sergeant First Class King. We on the side of the patty dyke. He pulling out his damn K bar and shit, and I'm like, oh shit, he pulling out a fucking K bar. I'm like, I'm wanting to shoot it. It's like, no, we can't shoot nobody. We can't be here. We can't get caught. So scared,
How did
fucking.
you end up in the wrong space? Did somebody over
Well,
march? Or like what the fuck happened?
no, we were no. It wasn't like when I say wrong. Like we supposed to patrol on our side of
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
the
So
uh,
somebody went
the
over the
border.
line. Who
Well, it
went
was
over the line?
we were our job was to collect reconnaissance. I mean collect intel. So you know part of our little route and whatnot took us like it was there's always spots that are like quote unquote gray areas. They run like real
Questionable.
close to, yeah, questionable. Thank you, questionable. So yeah, we were supposed to collect collect intel on this fucking guard tower or whatever, and the whole point is when we were out there, we were supposed to be invisible. We don't get caught. If we get caught,
So
no
you
bueno.
were so you were invisible, but you could see you was in the wrong spot.
Oh yeah, shit.
That's
If I'm
hard.
looking, if I'm looking at my, if I'm looking at my leader, and he pulling out his knife and whatnot, and I'm like, I'm thinking about, I'm like, I'm a 203 gunner. I'm like, I'm ready to shoot some grenades when and he's like,
Yeah,
no,
because
if we
you,
get, if
I
we
would
get,
think you'd have to do hand to hand just to keep it quiet.
exactly, that's the whole point. But fortunately, it was one of those things where they went by us. And we didn't get caught, obviously. But
What you mean
uh,
they went by you? Did you see them?
nah, we ain't seeing. We were hid. We were like the rice paddies. They had these like dikes. They're like rice paddies. Almost like retaining ponds. You know how
But you
they.
could hear the people going by you.
Yes, because it was during the winter time. It was during the winter time, and so the rice paddies are frozen over. So it was the most um, likely time for North Korea to attack South Korea would be during the winter time because the tanks could drive across the frozen rice paddies and whatnot. But during whereas during the spring they're all flooded and it's all mud and all that shit. So that's what it was.
So
But
you heard it crunching. You heard the
yep,
ice break,
crunch, 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 and it's
and you was
like,
like,
oh,
"Yo, what the fuck? We gonna have to do some
man,
low,
listen,
hand to hand." Okay.
man, listen. I thought I was going boo boo on myself.
So how did your leader take it? He was like, "Yeah, come on, scumbags."
We were like, no, we were like, he was like, quiet, observe, and if the motherfucker come down here, hey, he's getting stabbed up.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what it is.
it's exactly what it is. There's no need to ask no questions. Why?
Ain't no question. Nah, no, 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 no,
You're
no,
on one
no.
side of the blade or the other. You know what
Yep,
I'm
it's
saying?
like, hey, motherfucker getting stabbed up, and we getting the fuck up out of there. That's it. So
Exactly. So that was crazy.
that
I can
was like
imagine just hearing those crunches, like,
it's like it's like it was like a movie. I couldn't have made that shit up. It was like holy shit. It's like this shit is you talk about what you're gonna do on the patrol, in your
yeah,
rehearsals and all that other shit, but you're not thinking real shit gonna happen. You
no.
know.
But in a movie, like when they show like them hiding from him and being close, you really understand that. Like you comprehend it. You know what I mean? So
Oh
so you have
yes.
people be like, nah, they couldn't have been that close and you get away. Be like, nah, dude. Honestly, if you shut the fuck up and sit there,
Yup.
you
Yup.
you will be just fine. Because most people, when they're on their mission, they're out there with horse blinders on. They're going straight towards whatever they're doing. You know what I mean? So you're gonna get a 90 and a 90. So even if you're out of 90 range and you're still more than likely no one's picking you up.
Oh, nobody.
It's because it's rare people that survey everything. You know what I mean? That do 180 to 360. That's a different motherfucker. That's a different type person. That's somebody looking to get you. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Most people on opposite sides are always looking to get the fuck home, keep it a band. They know what they
Yeah.
signed up for. They know who
Yeah.
Kim Jong Un is. They're like, yo, listen here, man. If we do run into the fucked up Yankee, how about we just keep going? You know what I'm saying?
Bro. Because like you said, if it's you or me, in that situation, it's damn sure gonna be them. It ain't gonna be me.
Absolutely,
I'm
absolutely,
shoot.
absolutely.
But I tell you, in my my last combat tour when I was in Kandahar, and I spent most of my time outside the wire doing vulnerability assessments.
Hmm.
We had some really good coalition partners. I remember uh, we had Romanians. And Romanians,
Pardon self, Scott. At Black Latina Regina, self-preservation, quiet is kept, Scott. That's from Black Regina. Okay, continue on. Sorry,
yeah,
gotta give the acknowledgement of these
yeah.
people.
I was like, my hats off to the Romanians because there's some dope. The Romanians and Australians. Australians, boy, I thought Americans, I thought we were hot to death. Them Australians, I ain't never met nobody that hated the doggone enemy worse than we did.
Well, everybody's got their reasons. I'll talk to Ozzy
True.
one day. Maybe we'll get an interview with one of them. One of the Ozzy's back then. They can give us the history of it, so we know why. I mean, they despise people over there.
Oh, because they
Hmm?
fight like cowards.
You said because they fight like cowards, and how is that?
It, in a straight up fight, head to head, I'm with it. Hey, either it's gonna be me or you. There's gonna be, but we're heads up. You're not, pretending to be one thing, and then next thing you know, it's like you murdering half a battalion of people or half a company of people, as soldiers and whatnot in their beds in their sleep. No, that's not that's cowardly. If you see me on if you meet me on the battlefield, I'm with it because it's me, it's you, my equipment, your equipment, my will, your will. One of us gonna come out on top.
That I understand that premise, and I don't find a lot of fault in that. To be quite honest, um, however, playing devil's advocate on the other side of the fence,
Hmm.
you outman and outgun me by whatever. I'm not playing fair with you. I'm playing to win. I'm in it to win it. Uh,
And I respect that. I mean,
and
I
then
like I said, I
and
respect that.
then I also have to deal with your propaganda machine, which is bigger than mine's. Because mine's only control these villages. Yours control the world. You have a world coalition, one way or another. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And I have a whole bunch of people that's been showed videos come through and slaughter my people. You know what I mean? Remember, when we're going to engage in a foreign land, for people out there, not for Scott. Scott know what the fuck it is. Um, you you got to consider who the fuck send you and sent you and why. And I'm not telling you not to file orders. You already signed up for that shit. So I look at it like a gang. You got jumped in. You agreed. You go with the plan, my man.
Yep.
That's how
Yep.
I see shit. All right. So I'm not here for people to say once you signed up and went in, that's on you. If you didn't go in, everything else is on you on that side. But once you went in for a penny, and for a
In
motherfucking
for a
pound,
pound.
right? So
That's a fact.
I don't agree in cowardice, and I don't call it cowardice if a person never signed up, never went in. But I do call it cowardice if you went in and you ain't hold your section. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. That's what you signed up for. I don't got time to hear about your morality clauses, and that's why I
Yeah.
couldn't go in because I don't have the morality that I need to have. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
and it's also like I said before, it's like when you sign up for the military, and a lot of people don't understand this, that the rights that we fight for, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and all that stuff that we fight for, that all Americans are afforded.
no, not all, not military.
And I was just about to say that we give up our bill.
Yeah,
We give up a lot of our rights when we come into the military.
yeah.
And
It's the same as in prison.
yeah, and there's a lot of things that I don't agree with the penal system. Because where in the old west, when you got out of jail or whatever, you got your Second Amendment rights back. You got all your shit back, and it was up to
Facts.
you to make something of yourself. But you got all your tools back. It
Yeah,
not
but
not
what?
it ain't like
But
that.
it,
It
but
ain't like that today, and I
but
and
what
I
I
don't
don't.
agree with it.
Scott, hold up. Uh, Rules are in place for a reason. I don't agree with it neither. You know what I mean? But we do have to remember when you're saying you got your tools back, what is your gun tool for? You're not building fences with it.
Protection, hunting.
But that's what I'm saying. You said tools. You know what I mean? So when
Yeah.
people look at the gun being a tool, I look at a regular tool. It's not a tool unless you're a
Hmm.
hunter. You know what I mean? Then yeah, I
Yeah.
need that. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is it's not a tool in a constructive sense. You know what I mean? I believe that you go in for a felony if it's non-violent or whatever, you get your gun back. Matter of fact, if it's violent, get your shit back because somebody might be looking for you. I'm from that cloth, but I'm
Yeah.
I'm just saying as far as like again, you can't solve a lot of problems busting your gun.
Facts.
You know what I mean? We all need the right to have one to protect ourselves from people that do have one. Because once the ball was rolling, it was never stopping. You know what I
But you
mean?
do have, but you do have the right to protect yourself and to protect your family.
Yes, but again, even with the right to protect yourself, pe- the word protection, protect from what?
Protect from danger, and danger being anybody that wants to try to impose their will upon you and yours. You know, that's what it is. And I know that I'll probably get a million people saying, "Oh, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about and whatnot." It's my opinion, but like I said, as a man, as a father, as a former husband, all of that, you know, I'm like, hey, I have the right to protect me and mine, and you have the same right to protect you and yours.
So you can be 18 and get a gun.
Yeah.
Can't get a drink, but you
Nope.
can. So you can take a life.
Hmm.
You can walk around with that grave responsibility. You know what I mean? Be in that situation. There's usually no winners in it. One's in the ground and one's in jail. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
Um, I like I said, I just don't know. I don't
Well, I
think
mean,
I just don't think that. And again, I don't disagree wholeheartedly or something to that degree. You know my position when it comes with firearms, but
mhm.
I'm just saying that there, there's got to be a better way. 'Cause somebody give me a tool and there's no need for it. You know what I mean? If there's no need for it now, I think personally that everyone should have firearms. Everyone. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Armed society is a polite one.
Yep. Thomas Jefferson.
Oh, yeah, yeah. However, a society that is pitted against one another for power with a bunch of guns, you see what it is. Because the mass shootings that go on when they go into Walmart, going to a mosque, going to a synagogue, going to a church, all religions, none of them have been spared from people running in and mass murdering. Am I lying? In
No.
America, they ran up in schools, synagogues, mosques, and churches. No one has been spared. I think the
But
Buddhists have been
however,
spared, but no one wants to donate while they get shot at. You know what I
but
mean?
however,
Shooting at them.
in a lot of those situations,
Yeah.
if if one or two armed citizens can turn the tide on a mass shooting.
Most of those mass shootings were done with semi-automatic, if not automatic, rifles. Two people with their side pistol. This ain't the fucking movies. If someone's coming down there and laying down shit, even more, we seen the guards at the school with the gun on them run. You may be the citizen. You can speak for you. Me as an armed citizen, if I'm there and I have a gun, I figure if he ain't get me from behind because he's coming into church and spraying, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So unless the preacher and the choir from the pulpit, from the entry point, where is this happening at? Because this ain't the movies. Like you ain't moving like the Matrix out here.
Very
Once you
true.
start
But
laying,
what?
once he starts laying down, I'm just saying, I'm sitting like I'm sitting right now. Somebody comes behind me, be behind me, like from that house because you're in the back of the church.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're walking in. You walk in from the back of the church, right? I'm, you're if you're lucky and you fall down, you know what I mean, or you get down in time, or you know what I mean, whatever, depending on what kind of ammo you got, because the wood ain't stopping certain shit they got now. You know that, you know what I mean. So what I'm saying is the probability of somebody doing something, you know what I mean. It sound good, but it's not even a reasonable solution. Where most of the solution is, and because a lot of people are mentally disturbed, right? When you run into a church or a school or this, that, the third,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? And they wound up, and it's a lot of people that have been around those particular people, and they were acting like, oh, he's okay, he's just playing, or, you know what I mean? It's okay. Because you're pretty wound up when you go there, and you're definitely off your meds. Like you're definitely,
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is dealing with the mental aspect of it in society, and really, and I know it's not an it's not a sexy overnight fix, but it's something worth really, really looking into when it comes to the data and the background of these people. You know what I mean? There's
Very
no
true.
such thing as a coinky dink or a coincidence, Tim. You
But
know what I
the
mean?
more, but the more people that are armed, the more chances that you have of survival.
On what?
Like you said, if somebody comes into a church or wherever the hell you at, wherever the hell you may be, and they start, laying down, laying people down and whatnot, I would rather have a gun on me and at least have some type of a fighting chance than not.
And again, uh, one of the biggest things, and even back in the day, if you believe, all of history, they weren't going into church armed. They weren't. Show me.
Yeah, but they
That
did,
was that
and
that
they didn't have the mass shootings that they have today either.
no, they had worse mass shootings. Remember how the West was won. That was one big
Oh
mass
yeah,
fucking shooting. Just because it wasn't people supposedly the American side of it, it was still mad mass shootings. And on
well, I'm
both
talking
sides.
about. Well,
I'm
I'm
saying
talking.
even on both sides, if you go back and look at any of those old towns in San Francisco or anywhere going out west or even wherever, you know what I mean? Church was the sanctuary. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Church was the sanctuary. So you didn't
and
do
the
that.
church
Plus
usually
people know,
doubled as a school.
yeah, and you also like the point that I'm pointing out, your back is to the door. Even if that whole thing was if every man in there was armed, yeah, you might or may not, but from the back with an assault rifle, what we have now, your odds of you can go in there and spray the whole thing down in 2.2 seconds. You know what I mean? So you gotta address the mental part of it and what's going on because you can't protect everything.
No,
You
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 can't.
you know what I mean? So if you don't put as much effort in, hey, everyone should have an arm. And again, I'm not against nothing. I'm just playing devil's advocate and also expressing that I know for a fact one way is not going to cure that shit.
No,
You know what
no
I mean?
one.
It
There can't be. There's no world panacea. There isn't.
yeah yeah. So you, my my suggestion is, um, moving forward, they need to start really checking people's mental status and doing more. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I understand the people that want to harbor and hoard their guns because in a tyrannical government, which has been proven to be so, you want to be armed. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So again, maybe it's not disarming people. Maybe it's really checking people, and that's a compromise neither side want to hear. One side saying arm up, the other one saying disarm everything, and I'm saying, hey, you can be armed, but how about we just put more care into who we're arming up?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And also,
And more, I'd say more accountability.
yes, I said way more accountability. Hunting rifles sold to kids should be for hunting. 18-year-old kid, young man, literally shouldn't be running around with a gun. He doesn't have the mental capacity or restraint half the time not to do dumb shit. Facts. I mean, if you have a good father that trains you right, but the absence of fathers in black and brown homes is high, you know what I mean? You can't distribute solutions for morality that doesn't exist for the masses of people. So if a large mass of people don't have fathers in the home and people to instruct them properly, they shouldn't be able to run around with a biscuit on them because they gonna do something.
Yeah.
They gonna do something, bro.
Yeah. It's a strong debate.
Yeah,
And
it
then
is a strong. It is a strong debate. No right answers, no wrong answers.
yeah.
Um, just a lot of communication needs to go on. But I think the demonization of one trying to protect themselves needs to stop, as well as calling people stupid for asking them for longer terms to get a hold of a pistol. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. I think compromise on both sides can be done. But that's it for tonight. Harold knows nothing, and apparently Scott knows a lot. Okay, about staying out the way with the crunchy ice, because that's your ass. Um, Black Regina says, Black Latina Regina says, don't be scared, be prepared. All right, Regina.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, now be prepared for us to stop the pod. Okay, Regina. Um, they want to say amen to Regina out there.
Amen.
Amen. All right, and shout out to Christy G. She couldn't make it tonight. I knew she had some things that she's wrapped up in. She'll catch us in the next pod, I believe, on Sunday. Wednesday, sorry, on Wednesday. Oh, almost messed up. On Wednesday. And please share,
Share,
subscribe.
subscribe.
I would like 100 subscribers. We're getting really close. Please, I'm going to post up this section. If it does it, if it clicks it, share, subscribe. We love you guys. Share, subscribe. Put on a notification button, man. Get some of this good content. All right. Let me get out of here. From us at Harold Knows Nothing, that's me, Harold, who knows nothing, and Scott Black Rambo. You like to say goodbye, Scott?
Yo, peace. Love y'all. Like, share, subscribe.
All right, I'm closing this shit down.